Hello Yu-Gi-Oh fans and gamers. To date, two of my most popular videos have been my YCPT and review of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters 1 and 2 on the Game Boy. And this is great because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is one I've wanted to do the most since I started making YouTube videos. However, those videos aren't quite complete despite their rambling length. There's some stuff I missed out, and while I address some of it in a follow-up vlog for DM1, I'd like this series to be as comprehensive as possible. So I'm doing a quick roundup video to catch up on all the stuff I missed before moving on to Tri-Holy God Advent, the Western Dark Duel stories. So without further ado, let's get going. I'm not going to use that joke, nope. Since my last Yu-Gi-Oh video, I've gotten hold of a Super Nintendo and a Super Game Boy. Not a bad deal if I do say so myself. And it happens that both DM1 and DM2 are both Super Game Boy enhanced. After startup, DM1 gets this cool border around the edges of the screen, but apart from that, there's not much else. If you press X, it changes the palette to something that looks a bit more like its sequels, but it doesn't have individually colored cards or anything. It just applies a blanket wash over the whole screen. And that seems about it. Everything else about it is much the same. As Super Game Boy enhancements go, this is pretty crap. Most give you custom colors, music, sound effects, but with this, you just get a border. Maybe DM2 will be a little more impressive. Wait, no border? Every Super Game Boy game has a border. That's not right.
What?
By the power of the Dark Master, I anoint thee, so that your demons may be banished to the Shadow Realm, and your circuits return to full function! There's nothing! No borders, no colors, even the bloody music glitch is still there. What's going on? Well, I've actually enlisted the help of some people to do some investigating for me. So with the help of Pughoof Gaming and the Mr. Dansan, I've determined the following. After they tried it on NTSC Super Game Boys, DM2 worked fine in Super Game Boy mode, and the border looks like this. Pughoof even tried it on his PAL Super Game Boy, and it worked fine. Now mine is a PAL one that I bought from the Netherlands, and it's the only unit I've ever heard of having this fault, so I guessed it must be broken in some way, but it works fine with all my other Super Game Boy games, so it's a real mystery. The inside looks okay, although one screw is rusted, but I doubt that's affecting anything. Ultimately, the DM2 enhancements are the exact same as 1. Just a border. No music, no colorization, no sound effects. It's really quite disappointing. Although I do have to do this quickly.
Purple Realm.
I'm just saying. I originally suspected that at least the first game might have some special enhancements, particularly to its sound, when played on the Japanese-only Super Game Boy 2, and as it was a relatively late Game Boy game, this could have made sense. My main tip-off was the entry on the game's cutting room floor page, which I'll link in the description, that refers to Super Game Boy 2 sound handling. I can confirm the code does work to allow the multiplayer, but I have no idea about sound effects. If anyone has more information, please tell me in the comments. There's no such mention of these sound effects on the DM2 page. Speaking of DM2, a commenter recently brought some new information to light about the insane odds of getting a change of opponent at the end of the game. They confirmed that the odds in the game's code were indeed 3 in 4,096, like it says in the Wikia page, and then suggested that these ridiculous odds might have actually been a programming oversight and not originally intended. I linked to some code to back this up. I don't know what any of this means. I have no idea how to read Game Boy assembly language, but it seems at the top there's a breakdown of the calculations that are going on, and it starts with 1 out of 256, which is what Japanese sources claim the odds are, which is probably from a strategy guide, but I don't have that to verify. And then it adds 1 in 4 and 1 in 3, and considering there are 4 extra Dark Duelists, it might be referring to that, but I don't know. If you know what this is on about, it's here for you. Also, I mentioned this in my update vlog a while ago, but I might as well put it here too. In DM1 you can enter these codes to get some cards that are otherwise unobtainable, and considering there's no deck cost, this can be a real advantage early game. After this, Yu-Gi-Oh! Went to the Game Boy Color, and so there's no Super Game Boy compatibility or any further enhancements from here on in. No more surprises. There was one more game which used the Super Game Boy, but we'll come to that in due course. In the meantime, let's have a giveaway! I have 2 spare boxed copies of Yu-Gi-Oh! DM1. These are boxed, they have the cartridges, box inserts, and manual. And I'm going to be giving away at least one of them to one lucky viewer. So in maybe a week or a week and a half, I'm going to be giving one of these away, and if you want to have a chance to win one, all you need to do is comment in the description why you want to play it. Do you like it because of simplicity? Do you really like Yu-Gi-Oh? Do you want to play a more simplified version of Dark Duel Stories for some reason? I don't know, but just comment it in the description, and also maybe tell me why you like Yu-Gi-Oh. The most descriptive and interesting comment will end up winning it. And if I get a large number of comments, I'll give away a second one as well. And if we get this video to say, I want to say 100, but maybe it's more realistic to say 50 or 75. But then again, this is a stretch goal. Screw it, 100. If we get this video to 100 views, or if there's a significant boost in the view count on some of the other ones, I will give away one of the very special promo cards which originally came with these games. There are only about 20 or 40 of these ever made, and these are the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards ever made by Konami. So these came after the Bandai series. You see here, they're very simple. They've just got a grey background. But yeah, these games originally came with these ones. These came with both this game and the Capsule Monsters game on Game Boy. And yeah, so if we get a ton of views, I'll throw in one of these to the first winner. And that's about that. The next time we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! On this channel will be about Tri-Holy God Advent, or as we know it, Dark Duel Stories. See you then. And yes, there will be another giveaway, so stay subbed. There was one more game which used the Super Game Boy. And also, just a quick shout out to the artists who did the border on the Taito Variety Pack. Yeah, I can really see you pulled an all-nighter on that one. Yeah, great work, great work.